Alrighty, hello, big dreamers. Hello. Katie Rhines, your registered dietitian with a master's degree in human nutrition, is here. I really help people prevent and reverse disease and save the world with a plant-based diet. Today, I'm so excited to help somebody out there. This video is going to be about self-love, menstrual cycles, balancing hormones, and healing ourselves holistically, not just with nutrition, but with mindset practices and lifestyle practices as well. So this video, first I'm going to be going over lots and lots of tips I have with mindset and of course nutrition, habits, practices that I have that I've put in place to balance out my hormones and to heal myself. And after that, I'm going to be talking about my personal story and really diving into what I've changed, what challenges and problems I came up against, and how I overcame those problems. And yeah, a little bit of update where I'm at now. And then I've got some really great resources and suggestions for all of you to check out after this video. So first of all, it was a little over a year ago I made the video, How to Get Your Period Back. I made that video and that's one of my most viewed, most searched videos. And I definitely get a lot of questions all the time. Katie, I need help getting my menstrual cycle back. I need help with my eating disorder, with over-exercising, whatever it is, seeming to do with binge eating or even just overthinking in general about food and having that be such a thing that's like super our biggest focus is like on ourselves and instead of doing what we want to do to create in this world. And so I thought it would be a good idea to do a little update on that video. And hello. This is, please bear with me. I usually like to do a couple of takes when I do a legit video, but this live, you're just gonna get it all. Here I am in the raw. This is me. So here are my tips. So first of all, I do recommend every single morning to have some kind of visualization practice. And this has helped me so much to heal myself and to get my menstrual cycle back and to keep it. So are we living from a place of fear? Are we living from the past and what has happened in the past? Or are we creating a new future that has no limiting beliefs about ourselves? So I had this repeating thing going off in my mind that I was not going to be able to be healthy and have the energy in the body that I want to have and have a menstrual cycle at the same time. I had this limiting belief that I needed to overeat and gain weight and not exercise at all in order to have a sustained menstrual cycle. And I'm so glad that the visualization practices that I put into place, so every single morning, putting on some kind of meditation playlist, some kind of flutes or something to really get you in the zone, closing our eyes and not only visualize a two-dimensional visualization of what it feels like to be healthy, to be that vision of yourself that we want to have, like visualizing it, but also feeling it with our emotions. What does that feel like? What does it feel like to have this healthy body? What does it feel like to get our menstrual cycle healthily or to whatever goal it is that you're trying to accomplish? How does that feel? And really embody that feeling. And I invite you to do this every single day. It's seriously helped me to hold on to that feeling and carry that feeling throughout the day. I think it's so essential to tap into that this is possible. I say hello, big dreamers. Yes, because I love being a big dreamer, but the reality is that the reality we create, this is all a dream. This is all our perception, okay? So let's dream our life. Let's create this. Like when we're seeing the world from a place of sadness, from a place of anger, everything that happens, the rain will be sad, the sun will be sad, okay? But if we're coming from a place of self-love and a place of gratitude, the rain is beautiful. You know, we love, when we come from a place of love. So let's create our dream every single morning and setting an intention to take care of ourselves, okay? So having that visualization and holding on to that is so, 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 so important. Our minds are really powerful, okay? I can definitely talk all day about nutrition and what to eat, and this is definitely an important foundation. But at the same time, the mindset behind it is so important. And before we even start to change our diets, I do, in my practice, I really, really do dive into, okay, how are we in your mind? So, yeah. All right, so visualize with emotion. Let's go. Self-love practices that have seriously, seriously helped me get my menstrual cycle back and keep it. I'm so excited. Number one, okay, noticing self-talk. Are you limiting yourself or saying mean things to yourself about yourself? Once we start to notice these like subconscious, not even realize we're doing it, things that we say to ourselves, whether it be, oh, I'm such an idiot, oh, I'm so stupid, oh, I feel fat, you know, these negative things that we're saying about ourselves. Once we start to notice these things, we can really start to unwind, backtrack, and give ourselves compassion. So this is so important because what we say to ourselves is really, whether we're able to heal ourselves does depend on our love for ourselves. So this seems super crazy and woo-woo or whatever, but love is the most healing energy. It's the most healing vibration. And I was not able to get my menstrual cycle back until I fully loved myself and recognized that the more that I was like speaking badly about myself to myself, it was just making me sicker and sicker. So to really strengthen our immune system, of course, every cell in our body does respond to the thoughts that we think. So it is important to notice this negative self-talk going off and have compassion for it. Take a deep breath, okay? And slowly flex that muscle. I really do believe that this is a practice. And I'm not saying I'm perfect. It's not like I never have negative thoughts about myself to myself. This is just something that as we keep noticing and shifting our perspective from, wow, I'm so stupid, to, oh, I made a mistake, it's okay, having compassion for ourselves, the more that we practice flexing that mind muscle, the stronger and stronger and stronger it gets. And it really just starts with noticing, okay? So notice, notice, notice. And over time, it'll get stronger and stronger, and you'll all of a sudden realize that every day you feel super beautiful and you feel like really okay in your own skin, and it's just a practice. So stop saying mean things about yourself, okay? Number two, notice limiting beliefs. So saying things like, I can't do this because ... I did mention this at the beginning of this talk, but limiting ourselves to, I can't do this, this won't work for me because he won't talk to me, because I'll never get there, because ... These limiting things that we say about ourselves, this is really just a reaction to, say, a past memory, something that happened in the past. So maybe you had a relationship that didn't work out in the past that's keeping you from dating and keeping you from exploring things in the future. Instead of dragging on the past forward with us, let's create a new future. And this goes hand in hand with the future self-visualizations I said at the beginning of this talk, is that we can create anything we want. Big dreamers, yes, we can. So noticing these limiting beliefs and recognizing that there's nothing truly true about the future or about us, and we're really seriously able to create the future. Like, of course it's possible, okay? There's people out there who are living their dreams in abundance every single day, living their best life. Why not you? Why not us? There's people out there who have healed their cancer, who have reversed their diabetes, who have gone 100% vegan and gained all of the muscle mass on their booty. Like, why not you? Why not us? And let's let go of whatever limiting beliefs are holding us back. Inhale those thoughts that serve us, and exhale all the crap that doesn't serve us, okay? Right now, right here. Let the limiting beliefs go. And first, it does take noticing what the limiting beliefs are so that we can start to recognize them and then throw them out the window. Throw them out the window. All right. Number 3, eat intuitively. So this talk is about menstrual cycles. My friends out there, I get lots of questions about balancing hormones, plant-based, getting your menstrual cycle back, and eat intuitively. This is like so scary for a lot of people out there. And as a dietitian, I was trained to help people to count their calories, to make sure they're meeting their needs based on calorie and protein needs. And what's funny is that not all calories are created equal. Calories from a donut are not the same as calories from kale or dates or a banana. So, counting calories isn't necessarily the most healthy approach. And eating intuitively, I laugh because, like, I used to think, when someone says eating intuitively, it's like, intuitively, I just want to eat ice cream and donuts all the time. Like, and eating truly intuitively to what feels good for us, this does require rest. This requires some sleep and some self-care and some awareness to how our bodies are actually feeling. So a lot of us are going about our days, going about our lives, busy, 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 onto one thing, onto the next thing. And the reality is that we are out of touch with our hunger and fullness cues. We're out of touch with our energy levels. Are we tired? Are we needing to take a break? Are we, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like people use food to numb, and they will like be really just out of touch with true hunger. And I think that eating intuitively requires slowing down. And for me to get my menstrual cycle back and to have it be a thing where like and this isn't just about me getting my menstrual cycle back for people tuning in or people watching. This is about healing ourselves of whatever it is health-wise that we're dealing with. So people react to stress in a lot of different ways. Some people get IBS and digestive. Some people get chronic back pain and headaches and migraines. Some people lose their menstrual cycle. Me, when they're like super, super stressed out. Some people develop autoimmune conditions and all of these things. So noticing that the things I'm talking about across the board, helpful for a lot of people. And eating intuitively instead of following the rule books is the best thing that I could have ever done for myself. And what I mean by that is I teach a low-fat, plant-based diet in general. I've helped a lot of people reverse their diabetes, reverse their heart disease. And for a young, active woman, I've like been upping the fats and like really listening to my cravings and eating a lot of food, like a lot of food. And that's the only way that I was able to heal myself, is to really just let myself do what I wanted to do and what felt healthy for me, and just let go of any kind of judgment around it, any kind of, oh my gosh, like I'm eating too much, like blah, 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 like letting that go and just being like, no, like I'm just gonna not think too much about this. And eating intuitively also means letting yourself just wake up and just drink plenty of water and like allowing ourselves to feel hunger. I think that some people have this toxic hunger thing where like we're kind of addicted to the feeling of eating. Like eating can be a comfort. And it's important to allow ourselves to get enough sleep and get enough primary food. And when I say primary food, I mean that as like get enough relaxation, get enough connections with loving people in our lives, and having connection with nature and getting plenty of sleep. Like these things are so nourishing. And it's funny, when we're nourished in these other ways, we will feel less hungry, less desire for this comfort from food, which will help us a lot more to eat intuitively. Moving on. Move your body if and only if it is fun for you, if it's exciting for you, if this is something that feels nourishing to you to move your body. So I really like to rollerblade. I love teaching dance classes and yoga. I love yoga. And I actually have been muscle conditioning a little bit more the past couple of months, and I still got my menstrual cycle, which is amazing because I did develop this limiting belief that I wouldn't, I was going to lose it because whatever. So yeah. But basically what I mean by that is a lot of us force ourselves to work out. We're like, sleep when you're dead, like go harder, go stronger, go faster. And like, that's the only way we feel productive, if we're just going on and hard and no matter what, get it in, get that workout in. And my recommendation for you to heal yourself is not to do that, okay? Let ourselves rest. Let us please, let ourselves rest. And after we work out, if we're feeling like we need to take a nap, if we're feeling absolutely depleted, like we're working out too hard, it's okay to not go 150,000% at the gym whenever we go to the gym. It's okay. All right? Yes, I love being inspired and feeling good lifting weights at the gym, and I love like dancing my booty off and sweating super hard. And it's so necessary to sleep and sleep and sleep and sleep and sleep and to rest and to take a day to just like do whatever and not freak out about getting that workout in, okay? So moving our bodies, if and only if that is nourishing to us. This is healing. Okay, I'm trying to heal somebody out there. I hope this is helping. All right. Self-love and healing advice, mindset, nutrition, all of it right here. What is one thing you did today to treat yourself like a best friend or like a daughter? So this kind of goes hand in hand with the first thing I mentioned as far as noticing our negative self-talk. And one thing that really, really helps me to notice and to shift the negative self-talk going on in my brain is to think to myself, okay, what would my best friend say to me? What would my mother, what would the best mother in the world do in this situation? So, for example, if I screwed up, if I broke something or spilled something or missed a meeting or whatever it is, instead of being super hard on myself, which I don't know about you, but I used to be, not anymore, super, super freaking hard on myself. Like I wouldn't let myself just, it's like funny how hard it is for me to relax, but I'm letting that go. I'm actually great at relaxing now. But I would be really hard. I would be really hard on myself for like being unproductive or whatever it was. And seeing it from a perspective of a mom or a best friend, it's like having compassion for ourselves is really what I'm trying to say. So if a best friend was upset and was being hard on themselves, you, being the awesome human you are, would probably go up to that friend and say, "It's all good, girl. Don't worry about it. You're doing great. Like keep it up. Like don't be so hard on yourself, you know?" And like I literally internally have this conversation with myself in my head. So I'll notice myself starting to be really hard on myself, and I like cuddle that in my brain and I say, "Kati, it's okay. Like you're doing great. Keep it up." And as cheesy and as lame as that sounds, it's super, super healing. Okay? Just, yeah. So what is one thing you did today to treat yourself like a daughter or best friend? And yeah, treat yourself in a lot of different ways. Like, let yourself enjoy something, let yourself do something for fun, like, you know? Um, how did you embrace your uniqueness today? So we are all so unique. Like, we're all so unique. We all have completely different backgrounds and memories and perception of things. And I love how so many people get excited about certain things and so many people get excited about other things. And it's like, why are we excited about this? And the way that we look, the way that our hair is, the way that we move, the way that we speak, like nobody else is exactly like us. Okay? And instead of feeling jealous or down on ourselves and hard on ourselves, I think it's really, really healed me to embrace how unique I am. And I used to be hard on myself. I'm a goofball, people. Like, yes, I'm a dietitian and I've been hard on myself for being too much of a goofball because I want to like be all professional or whatever. But instead of being hard on myself, I've been really practicing just being like, it's okay for me to be myself. It's okay for me to be a goofball. And like, instead of being jealous of all of these really polished professional people, I'm gonna let myself be a goofball and hopefully I'll resonate and connect with someone out there um, in my own way. And it's helped me a lot to just allow myself to be myself. And I really, really so enjoy when I see people on Instagram or YouTube just like being awkward, being just like, different and embracing their own uniqueness because it makes me feel like it's okay for me to do the same. So I think that the more that we turn up the volume to how excellence is not normal and to just be ourselves, it's so healing. Okay. And when we do start to feel like we're comparing to other people, um, this is like so impossible to do. We can't really know what's going on in another person's life. And I want to really use this opportunity talking about comparing to people. Who are we following? Who are we listening to? Who are we watching on Instagram and YouTube? Making sure that the people and the images and the things that we're exposed to on TV and stuff, this is programming. They call it TV programming for a reason. These things are programming us to feel an emotional charge to try and sell us something or to whatever it is. And I sincerely hope that you go and do a little check on, are these things that we're exposing ourselves to, are they making us feel at peace? Are they making us feel enlightened and inspired and empowered to save the world and to heal ourselves? Or are they allowing us to feel depleted and jealous and mad at ourselves and like we're not good enough? Okay? So notice how we feel based on what we're exposed to, and whether that be music lyrics or anything like that too. These things all impact our energy and impact our health. And I invite you to really like clean up the Instagram feed and make sure it's really people that are inspiring and promoting messages that help you live your best life. Because yeah, I used to follow like a lot of models, a lot of fitness accounts, and I would be super down on myself and like it's just, yeah, so that helps a lot. Embrace your uniqueness, please. That was the bottom line of that point. One thing you did just for fun. So in order to heal ourselves, in order to get our menstrual cycle back, balance out our hormones, be plant-based, accomplish our dreams, we need to allow ourselves to have fun. What is one thing that we did today just for fun? Okay? So no other reason but for fun. Basically, when we're allowing ourselves to experience joy and have some fun. This is really, really healing in a lot of ways. Just taking a step away from whatever stressors are going on and having fun. And I do want to point out here too, like if we are having fun and then all of a sudden, we can't control everything that goes on. So I think it is important to notice whatever triggers, like maybe you're driving down the street and someone cuts you off, or whatever it is, instead of coming from an angry perspective, which is so easy to do. And I'm not saying I never get angry. Like, yes, I get angry, but it's fun to react. Like last time someone cut me off, I literally was like, cool, like I really wish them well. I'm gonna send them loving vibes. I forgive them. I'm so grateful and lucky for everything I have in my life, and I'm so grateful and lucky to have this car and to be living here right now, and I just don't have anything to be angry about. I'm just, gonna send them some good vibes. I wish them well, and doing that is so nice for our own sake to just yeah. So I don't know how I got off on that tangent, but do one thing just for fun. How did you practice empathy and compassion with yourself today? This kind of goes hand in hand with this idea of how did you treat yourself like a mom or like a best friend would. So yeah, this is like, instead of being so hard on ourselves, like, ugh, I'll never get it right. Ugh, every single day, put in your journal entry, one thing that I did today to treat myself with compassion, with empathy, like a mom or a best friend is and put down, fill in the blank, DM me. What is that thing that you did to treat yourself with compassion? Okay. And this is such an awesome practice. And the more that we practice this, the more it'll come easily to treat ourselves with compassion. And the more compassion that we have for ourselves, this is just the most healing, loving energy. The more we're able to heal from the inside out, the more we're able to take risks and have good immunity and fend off any diseases. Seriously, like it all starts in the mind. Where our attention goes, energy flows. So bring on the compassion. How did you listen to your intuition today? Okay. I put it in my notebook that I was going to go work out super hard, but I could not sleep last night and I'm feeling super whatever it is. So to listen to my intuition, instead of working out, I just took a deep breath. I meditated. I got some journaling. I did some work instead, and I didn't work out today. And it's like, oh no, didn't work out today. But that's okay, because then the more we listen to our intuition and how our bodies feel, you're probably going to go into your workout the next day rejuvenated, really just your cup all the way full so that you're able to go after what you really want to do instead of fighting against ourselves all the time. Okay? So allowing ourselves to truly, truly listen to how we're feeling. And that's another thing to write down in our journal. Today, I listened to my intuition by, maybe it's something like, I felt so strong that to listen to my intuition, I worked out extra hard, like whatever it is that feels really, really good. And maybe it's something like, I quit my job. My intuition was like, I cannot be here anymore. And we really, instead of complaining, let's do something. Let's take responsibility. Let's change. Let's listen to our hearts. All right. We can't control everything we think. So come from the perspective that we are the observers. This is so healing. Like, I could not have healed myself without this perspective. Like, I love this idea. Okay, so say there's a fire alarm or a car alarm going off, and we could easily be mad at this alarm. We could be frustrated, just like all we talk about is, "Ugh, this stupid alarm, can it please stop, blah, 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 blah." This is just like thoughts that go off in our heads, okay? So all of these thoughts going off, "Oh my gosh, I'm so stupid. Oh my gosh, like, I blah, blah, blah," whatever it is, the thoughts going off, like, instead of putting charge onto these thoughts and, like, focusing all day and resisting these thoughts going off in our heads, we can listen to this fire alarm and be like, "Okay, cool. There's a fire alarm going off. Awesome. I'm gonna go and be confident anyway. I'm gonna go be a badass anyway. I'm gonna go do the dang thing. I'm gonna whatever it is, like, I'm gonna go wear that bathing suit and have a good time anyway." Even though the thoughts in my head are saying, "I look super fat, I can't believe blah, blah, blah," all of the negative self-talk that's blah, 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 blah. We can't control everything. Let's observe these thoughts and move on. Acknowledge them and live our lives, okay? We cannot control what comes up, but we can certainly control how we react. And this is a practice. It doesn't happen overnight to really like get good at that muscle. Practice, practice, gratitude. What are we grateful for right now? And this is like so charged right now just because there's a lot of the fires going on. It was so smoky. I'm living in California, Venice, California, and there was like a lot of smoke around my place. It was like the sun was just barely, it looked like really gray outside because of all the smoke. And it is Veterans Day weekend as well, and I just wanted to, notice that there's so much to be grateful for right now. And the more gratitude we feel, it really does pull us out of a state of stress. It really does pull us out of a state of overwhelm, or at least I'll speak for myself, just to take a step back instead of feeling really stressed out and upset, to be thankful for the people and the things that we do have right now and our health right now. It's allowed me to heal in so many ways. And I think that there's nothing better we can do than something simple like waking up in the morning and saying, "Thank you. Thank you, universe, for another day on this planet. Thank you, universe, for this shelter, this opportunity to create a beautiful day." And really deciding to come from a place of I am healed, I am healthy, I am successful, I am everything I ever right now. And just deciding that and moving forward with that, just feeling gratitude, it's so healing. So that's all I have to say. Moving on, another tip I have for healing yourself, getting your menstrual cycle back, really, balancing our hormones, is ask for help. Okay? I know my girl bosses, lady bosses, women, queens, everybody. I don't know if there's men out there watching this. That's dope. Ask for help. Yes, we can do it all alone. We can. And I get by with a little help from my friends. Asking for help when we need it, or even if it'd just be a lot easier if somebody helped us out. Do you know how much joy it brings me to be able to provide assistance and help to somebody out there? I feel like so accomplished when somebody's like, "Wow, Katie, thank you so much for helping me, I really could use this help, dot, dot, dot." And with this too, this is a really important practice of owning your own self-worth. Okay, so for example, maybe you need a ride to the airport. I these are a few mantras to tell yourself right now. 1, I ask for help when I need it. 2, I say no firmly. And 3, I welcome things into my life and receive with joy. Okay? I'm welcome to receiving these things in my life. These 3 mantras have helped me so much. And so, yeah, I ask for help when I need it. And this can be scary for us because we don't want somebody to think we're a burden. We don't want to be those people that are always asking for help and just being super annoying. And the reality is that people have the opportunity to say no. Make lots of requests in this life. Like, I've learned, and I'm still learning, that it's okay to make requests of people. And it's okay for people to make requests of me and for me to say no firmly. And this has been like an ongoing thing that I used to not be able to say no. And this is just so depleting when we're not able to say no. It's like, come on now, like, we're strong enough to say no. So I appreciate my friends now who aren't afraid to request things of me because they know I'm a badass biatch and I'm able to say no when it's just too much for me to handle. So if somebody asks me for a ride to the airport, I'll say yes if that's something that I can do. And I will firmly say no without any explanation needed if not. So it's like, Katie, will you give me a ride to the airport? Sorry, not this time. No. Okay? Instead of being a flake or whatever, firmly saying no. And yeah, I welcomely receive things. So if people want to tell me that I'm awesome, I'm going to welcomely receive that compliment without feeling like I need to compliment them back or without feeling like weird about it or whatever it is. I welcomely receive things. And this has been so, 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 so healing. Okay? We say no firmly, we welcomely receive, and we are not afraid. We ask for help when we need it. All right. Moving on. Brag book. So if you don't have a journal, get a journal and brag about yourself. I love this. So writing down every day like 10 things to brag about is a really great way to start shifting our perspective on things that we're not doing enough of and that negative self-talk into positive self-talk. So having a brag book and just writing down 10 things to brag about every single day allows us to shift our perspective into seeing, wow, there is a lot that I'm doing. There is a lot that I'm excited about. So little things like, I made my bed today. I said hi extra friendlyly to a stranger today and it made them smile. Any little thing to have made a positive impact on your own life. Maybe it's bragging, I said no to this request that was going to overwhelm me. Put that in your brag book. So this brag book, super, super great practice. Treat your damn self, okay? I'm saying you don't need to go on a date to treat yourself to a movie and some vegan ice cream. If you want to do it, just go do it, okay? That'll heal yourself. Savor and be present. Count the awe moments in our lives. What is so beautiful about right now? What is working so well right now? What is there to be grateful for right now? And every time I eat, I really breathe. And I put my hands over my food and I say, thank you, universe, for this food. It is going to heal me. It is going to nourish every single cell in my body. It is going to allow me to pursue all of the things that I want to do in this lifetime and with my energy and whatever. Thank you, everyone that made it possible to get this food to me. The sun, the rain, the delivery people, whatever it is. And noticing like how delicious it is and taking a second with it is just so nice. So savor and be present, whether it be we're washing the dishes or whatever it is. Instead of having these things be a burden, notice that we get to do these things and there's something beautiful about it. Self-love tip, moving on. Sorry, I keep saying moving on because I feel like I'm going super out of order and it's just whatever. But on my list here, it says number 17. Pamper yourself and clean. So self-love, like, honestly, I'm the kind of person who I would literally just, like, my room would be an absolute disaster. I wouldn't even shower. I would just, like, go from teaching a class to work to, like, I just didn't even care about my own self-care. And I recognize that, like, this is just not okay. Like, I think an act of self-love that's been healing to me is to know that I've got to say no to something if my room isn't clean. I've got to say no to something if I don't have time to take a shower and actually take care of myself. And it's funny, like, these things that most people have these things put in place. Like, yes, we take a shower, we, like, clean our room, like, these things that normal people have put in place. It's funny how, like, I can so easily, like, I feel like I'm just really selfless, I guess, that I just will say yes to so many things and I all of a sudden become really depleted. And just this is just a reflection to pamper yourself, allow yourself to have time to take a shower and to clean your room and make your bed. And if we don't have enough time for these things, make them a priority and know that we are worthy of having a clean body and a clean room and a clean space, and how this energy does impact us when our outsides are in a disarray. It really does affect our insides as well. So making sure our environment is a clean one, and one that gives us like good chill vibes, because this really does make a difference on our energy. I'm just gonna run through the rest because, like, this is, yeah, and then I'm gonna tell my story. Socializing is not a waste of time. Connect with those beautiful souls. Make sure that these people are people who inspire you, who believe in you more than you believe in yourself. And yeah, just, yeah, socializing, not a waste of time. Go outside in nature. I went on a hike alone not too long ago, and it was the most rejuvenating, beautiful thing that I've ever done. Please go for a hike, get some time in nature. Forgive people. Okay, all it's doing is really healing you inside and out. Every single day I try and, if somebody's crossing in front of my car, I literally mentally will say to them, I hope they're having a beautiful day. I hope they're having a beautiful life. And yeah, and if somebody does us wrong, if somebody's pissing us off, know that we are so lucky that, hell, I forgive them, I'm just, yeah, I forgive them. And lastly, I want to say, let's shift our focus to thinking so much about ourselves and all of the problems going on up in here, and recognize all of the things that are happening in this world that we are so passionate about helping people in some way. Like, I cannot wait to a fundraiser for the One Tree Planted Foundation and like get these trees back in place, to help save the world and to help with all these fires. Like, I really want to help people with nutrition. Like, there's so many classes I want to teach and things that I want to do that I'm too distracted thinking about these differences I want to make in the world to worry about all of the negative blah blah that's going on inside. Does that make sense? So a lot of people who aren't getting a menstrual cycle or who struggle with self-love, it's like our focus is down here when it could be out here helping somebody out there. All right, so let's shift our perspective from worrying about ourselves and saying like, this is going on and blah, blah, blah. Shift it outwards, okay? So, yeah. That was my lengthy list of tips to help us heal ourselves from the inside out, mindset, everything. In my practice, I really, really do incorporate mindset as a very strong component. I do teach yoga, and personally, good segue here. Now that you've heard all of my tips, I'm going to go a little bit into my story and update you about my healing and my menstrual cycle. So my story, I was a cheerleader in high school. I literally basically walked on the varsity cheerleading team as a flyer my senior year of high school. And I had never cheerleaded before, and I was trying to be as skinny as possible and as strong and as badass as possible and as light as possible. And yeah, it was kind of a female athlete triad situation. And since cheerleading, but the thing is like I actually lost my menstrual cycle before I was a cheerleader too. It got really, really light. Um, it was really, and this is so weird, like nobody gets this, like no doctor gets this, and I'm being really vulnerable and open and honest right now, and this is kind of weird that I'm sharing about my menstrual cycle story, but hopefully it helps somebody out there. Me and my high school boyfriends, like I didn't get my period until I had my first kiss, okay? Like there's something hormonal about this, like, and energetic about this, I do believe. And when we started to fizzle is when I lost my menstrual cycle. So keeping that in mind, I've had this female athlete triad situation. I was always trying to be skinnier and stronger. And of course, like, I thought it was super healthy to undereat and to count my calories and to overexercise. Like, I thought that was healthy. And I didn't even realize I was being unhealthy. I thought there was something wrong with me. Like, why wasn't I getting a menstrual cycle? And I went on the pill. I had ultrasounds. Like, do you have PCOS? Do you have, like, what's wrong with you? And no doctors could figure out what was wrong with me. Like, why wasn't I getting a menstrual cycle? And it's just so funny because I would get a cycle if I was in a loving relationship. And there was one relationship, I was in a long distance relationship in college, and I wouldn't get my menstrual cycle unless I was with this dude. And it's crazy because, like, so think about this. So honestly, I didn't get a regular menstrual cycle for 8 solid years. I was like, I would get a fake bleed from the doctor. They would give me progesterone pills or whatever it was to force me to have a bleed so that I didn't develop any kind of cancers or anything. But yeah, like I just remember I was always super stressed out senior year of high school and all throughout college. It was always this like go, 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 go. I was never able to just like let myself chill. I was just doing way too much. And I just want to say that like it's totally okay to just have a 9-to-5 job and love your life and just be like having fun, just chilling. I don't know what kind of thing in society right now that I feel like I personally felt a lot of pressure to do so much. And like I was never doing enough. I was never going to be enough unless I was working out harder, taking more credit hours, creating more, like putting so much pressure on myself all the time and never feeling like I was good enough and just like studying my butt off. And then this long distance dude, like when he would pick me up in his Jeep and we would just drive away from school, I would literally like, I started crying about this meditating in Shavasana when this memory was brought to my mind of him picking me up and how it was such a relief to just like relax for a second. It literally brought me to tears. And yeah, sorry. So I'm just saying that I recently was brought to tears by this memory of me being pulled away from the stressors of my life by this guy that I was seeing, and how like that just alone, just being able to just like watch a movie with the guy, like allowed me to get my menstrual cycle back. So that was back in college. And wow. So recently I was able to get my menstrual cycle back 6 months in a row. And that's like the longest I've ever consecutively had my menstrual cycle. Because after my last video, I'm really making this update video as an update to one of my more popular videos is how do you get your menstrual cycle back? And in that video, I said, I've had my menstrual cycle for 3 months in a row. Like I'm healed. Like this is how I got it back. And it's funny because the 2 months after I made that video, I actually didn't have a cycle. The 2 months after I made that video, I was super stressed out. I started a new job in Florida working for Dr. Furman. I started running again, and I was just like, and then the investors pulled out, which is like kind of a conspiracy if you ask me. I think something sketchy is going on there. But anyways, the investors of my dream job pulled out, and I was wicked stressed out. I didn't know what I was doing with my life, and I moved back to LA, and I got my menstrual cycle back again, but it took a lot of work. A lot of work mentally. I knew it didn't have to do with food. I've had my menstrual cycle vegan, I've had it vegetarian. When I was dating this dude long distance, when we went to Thailand together, we were literally just eating fruit. I was fruitarian and I was getting a regular menstrual cycle. It was definitely mental, and it still is mental. And for the longest time, doctors had always told me to eat more, to exercise less. And that didn't work out. That, just eating a lot more. And yeah, I gained a lot of weight and I exercised less. But I still not getting a menstrual cycle from gaining weight and exercising less. It was really just my stress and how I wouldn't let myself relax. So moving back from Florida, I took time to not exercise and to just practice self-love and to meditate. And I would literally go for a walk every single day for an hour, wearing some kind of a dress, like feeling really feminine. And I would literally repeat to myself, I'm a goddess, like I'm a feminine goddess, I'm healthy. And I would walk as if a healthy goddess would walk. I would pamper myself like a healthy, pampered goddess would pamper herself. And I really put in these practices, and it seriously helped me get my cycle back. And it sounds crazy, but that's what I did. I would literally just go for a walk with the intention of being a goddess. I would put on high heels and tap into my feminine side and tap into luxury and relaxation and just that energy that I really needed. So that helped me get my cycle back. And yes, I've been on the dot, on the full moon, like every single month since, I don't know, the past like over 6 months now. And on my calendar, I've put a little red dot every time I get my menstrual cycle. And I definitely recommend downloading apps. Like the Hormone Horoscope app is a good one. And I really, really like also the My Flow by Alyssa Vitti, the woman who wrote the Woman Code book. Really great book. Read Woman Code. That book is so, so good. And tracking your menstrual cycles. And I love the Hormone Horoscope app as well, because I've like noticed the week before I get my menstrual cycle, I get irritable. I just literally can eat absolutely everything in sight. It's my digestion is bloated. And there are things that I'll recommend probably in a future video. I'll recommend a lot of like herbs and supplements that have really helped with that. But instead of like fighting myself and getting mad at myself for like overeating or whatever it is, I like don't even think twice about it. I'm just like, okay, cool, like whatever. And then I got my menstrual cycle. So I think a lot of times people won't be getting their menstrual cycles because they're all up in their head about listening to their intuition. And yeah. Another tip I have for that is really just drinking plenty of water. That can really help with cravings too. But yeah, anyways, I do want to point out though that I stopped getting my menstrual cycle, and it's funny, like I'm either on the full moon or on the new moon, and I was like really nervous that I missed my cycle, but I actually just got it this past new moon. It was like my cycle just ended. So I'm on the new moon now. I don't know what's up with that. It's something cosmic, like us women connected with the moon. And I'm really, really proud of myself for getting a full-on menstrual cycle. this month just because I did start another job up in the east side in Pasadena, full-time job. Like, this year's been pretty crazy. Like, I went to Israel and I got back from Israel and I started this new job in Pasadena, and that was out of integrity for my heart, and I quit that job. And I started teaching again at LA Fitness, and I started working a new job, and I decided to start up doing my own private practice again. And so, like, a lot is always transitioning and going on in my life. Like, I'm really just throwing things at the wall, see what sticks. Like, I'm opening all these doors and just, yeah, trying new things and seeing what works. And so there's been a lot of transitions and everything. So why am I most proud of getting my menstrual cycle this month is really because I was afraid to teach fitness classes. I thought that me working out was preventing me from getting a menstrual cycle. I thought that me being too active was hindering my hormones, and that I would never be able to be fit, to be active, to teach dance classes, and to work out and get my menstrual cycle at the same time. You know, I've only been able to do that when I was in a loving relationship, and I've never been able to do that single on my own. And this past month, I've been working out. I feel like so strong, and I feel so nourished and well rested and intuitive and alive and stoked on these classes that I'm teaching. I teach 3 dance classes a week and 1 Zumba class, and I rollerblade, and I sleep a lot and I eat a lot, and I feel really good in my body, and I haven't stepped on a scale in who knows how long. I don't know how much I weigh, but I don't even care. Okay, like, who cares? I just really care about how I feel. And self-love to me also, yes, it's about indulging in luxury and like loving ourselves and being compassionate, but it's also for calling ourselves out on our own BS, you know? Like, I've really, instead of just like thinking that self-love means eat all the desserts, like do whatever, like, oh my gosh, like, no, you know, self-love is also that discipline and putting down the red pen to make sure that we're getting done what we want to get done in this lifetime. I think that's also self-love. And for me, it's been so healing to practice, like I said at the beginning of this video, visualizing myself, yes, getting a menstrual cycle and being fit and teaching these classes and being a feminine, luxurious badass. I have never in my lifetime accomplished combining those 2 visions. So I'm super proud of myself for that. And if you'd like help getting your menstrual cycle back, anything with nutrition, hormones, healing, please let me know. I really do incorporate mindset practices and, of course, holding you accountable. So let me know. And yeah, that's my update on my menstrual cycle. I'm super, super stoked, and I really, really wish the best for you. And some resources, I'll put a link to the PDF of I have a retreat recipes ebook with some mindset practices. I'll put that link in the YouTube video here. And I really want to give a big ass announcement. I'm going to be a part of the Yes Live event. So my incredible friend Brandolyn Tebow, she's a life coach. She wrote the book The Achievement Trap. She's holding a Tony Robbins style weekend event March 30th to 31st in Ranchos Palos Verdes, California. I'll leave the link to that event, and oh my gosh, like, this is the most nourishing healing. I could not have gotten my menstrual cycle back without this woman's help, and I'm so excited to be a part of it. I've been chefing her retreats for the past couple of years now. So you have to be there. There's going to be a cacao ceremony, and it's a female-only event. There's going to be so many amazing people to meet. Cacao ceremony, ecstatic dance, guided visualizations and meditations that are going to rock your world. And there's going to be so, so, so much magic and like live coaching. So please get your tickets now before they sell out. And I'll leave links to a lot more resources. Yeah, you do have the power to heal yourself. I love you all so, so much. Have an incredible, beautiful day. And thank you, veterans. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Bye, everybody.